I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This video is going to be a pretty serious one. Yes, I can already hear the pitchfork sharpening. I said I wasn't going to talk about him again, but sadly due to a recent event, I kinda have to. So earlier on when this video gets released, maybe like today or 2 or 3 days later, whatever, Spino made a video where he quote-unquote reviews the Hammond Collection Giganotosaurus. At first, this video seems pretty normal. However, around a third of the way through, the video glitches to where a cryptic message is playing about a specific person Spino once knew, and now thinks of him as a joke. After this video, many people were confused, and I had some people asking me about this video and what it could have meant. I had a lot of time to think, and just a lot of time before I was confident on making this video, kind of explaining what it is, and I'll kind of get to that at the end. What this message is talking about actually relates to a topic I talked about in my previous video on Spino. Basically, he was in a Vtuber server being toxic, flirting, and obsessive over a Vtuber, which got him banned. You may think that's the end of it, but there's actually more to it, and I didn't discuss that in my previous video. After him being banned like 6, maybe even more months from then, he would go on his Twitter, basically stalk the person, post the same type of shit on how it wasn't fair how he got banned, try to play the victim to gain sympathy, and continued to do this up until today. The stuff he said on his Twitter is very similar to the stuff being said in this video, which makes me around 80 to 90% sure that what he's talking about in this video is relating to that whole topic. The puzzle pieces basically match up a lot. Now, this may bring up a question of why he made it seem like he was going to review the HC Giga, and for me, I assume it was to draw more of his viewers into his VTuber content, and let me explain. Spino obviously knows that his fanbase is not interested in his VTuber content. That's what his second channel is for. It's plain and simple. So what he did was disguise this ARG analog shit into a video that Spino's fans would watch, a review of the HC Giga. However, since this video would be shorter, he would need to put it as a premiere just so people wouldn't know the length of the video originally. That's why there was nothing said about this video on his Patreon. In a way, he tricked his fans into watching something cryptic related to VTuber content to potentially gain sympathy. Similar actions were taken of him saying stuff that people didn't have context for, such as the time he lied about me in a VTuber's Discord server. People took a side even though they didn't know the full story. Same could be for here, and the worst part is, this could potentially just be the first video of this. Between this video and his last video, there was a 3-month time gap that took place in summer, and since I know for a fact that Spino had enough time to be making stuff since he posts a lot of stuff on his Twitter, that means he most likely had the entire summer to be working on something, and this could just be the first part of it. Whether I'm right and he decides to not make more of these because of this, or this is just going to be the only video he makes of it, this entire situation has just gotten a little bit more serious. The thing about Spino is that whenever he gets into some drama or controversy or whatever, and it doesn't get resolved his way, he will take that like a stake through the heart. He is extremely petty with this shit, and this is the first time something like this has happened in a while, and it's all because it wasn't resolved the way he wanted it to be. A little bit of an extra note here. The reason why nothing happened after Spino and my friend group, decided to part ways with him is because there was a second party there, or I guess a third party, to kind of make it so we all, part ways in a kind of civil way. But of course, it was all bullshit, so yeah. Because he wasn't allowed to be back into the server, even though the ban was justified, for months he's now been going after this person, even though this person wants nothing to do with him. And now he's using his fan base for this type of garbage, which is just disgusting. For a side note, I have given a heads up to the community in question, so they should be safe. But I was not expecting the situation to get to this level. And honestly, it affected me quite a bit. After I was notified about this video and what was in it, I instantly knew what he was trying to do. I knew the full context for what was going on. I was really the only person who could have made a video on this matter. And since now this shit is going public, and an entire community could potentially be in danger, it felt like a lot of responsibility for me, and I started to feel guilt. The reason I was thinking long and hard about making this video wasn't due to me thinking of what I should talk about, but it's because I had a lot going through my mind. Back when I was friends with Spino, I kinda got him back into VTuber content, and because of that, he made it part of his whole personality. His horrific and disgusting personality. I didn't think that he would go and do this type of stuff, and for a while, I felt very responsible for those actions, even though I had no control over it. After the situation happened with Spino getting banned from the Vtuber servers and, being a justifiable ban, I thought that that would be the end of it. But I didn't think that he would stalk someone for many months on end and go public with this, and it really hit me again. It's a hard feeling to describe, but just imagine it kind of like this. You look back on your younger self and you hate some of the stuff and actions that you did back then. That's kind of how I felt right there and then, and it really put a lot of weight and guilt onto me. It has led to Spino now harassing VTubers, stalking a VTuber that wants nothing to do with him, and Spino using his fans that just came for a simple toy review. It sucks. It really does. However, I am doing better now, which is really good. I had a lot of talk about this with my friends, and they helped me through this, and they are very, very supportive of me, and I thank them for that, like, greatly. And personally for me, I feel like if I didn't bring this up to you guys, or just, say this to the public, I may not have mentally recovered from this. The weight and guilt that I felt before can finally be lifted, and I shouldn't have to feel like this ever again. I want what's right for everyone, and in order to do that, I shouldn't blame myself for something I had no control over. It's just not right for me. I can't stress this enough, but please, spread the word around to other people, communities, or just anyone. The situation has gotten way more serious, and I'm afraid that if no action is taken or anything like that, then Spino might continue to do this type of stuff, and it's really creepy and disgusting to think about. People need the heads up in order to be safe and protected from this man. He's already done way too much damage. Way too much damage. And I don't want any more people to be affected by him. I really don't.